Alright, YouTube. I'm going to give you a greenhouse update. Did do some work today. Threw some 1x2 to hold the excess plastic on these solid walls I built. It's getting dark here. Deal with it. It's Canada. It's December. Merry Christmas, by the way. Let's open the door here. And as we walk in, any of my more astute viewers would have already seen these tanks right here. Those are actually old tanks, fertilizer tanks, liquid fertilizer tanks off of a planter. I've repurposed them. They're going to be rinsed. Well, they haven't been used in a lot of years, but they're going to be rinsed a couple times before they get totally done. Started to be used as they're going to be the water tanks for my greenhouse. So as you can see, so I'm just going to hook up garden hose, let it flow into my upper tank and my lower tank. I'm going to be putting a pump in at the bottom. I'm going to put a pressure tank over here to run everything. So I did run some PEX in. I don't have the drops put in right now due to the fact as to how my current plans are to do the greenhouse. There is a lacing that's done on the outside of the greenhouse with this rope to try to negate wind bouncing it back and forth. And I'm sorry, I should have done this when it was daylight, but my wife's got a concussion. I got 3 kids. This is when you get the video. Don't complain. But due to the fact when I walked out here the other night at 11 o'clock at night and it was horribly windy, I decided, I'll put in some more lacing just to try to slow down the plastic slapping down here. So the theory is I'm going to be doing on the outside of the greenhouse. Let's see if I can do this. So the outside of the greenhouse, I'm going to be putting in planters that are 1 foot deep, 2 foot wide, about 40 inches tall. So I can do my planting on the outside of the greenhouse on both sides, and then there's going to be a small walkway. And then, the heck did I knock over? Oh, propane tank. I'm going to be doing 2 rows up the middle here. So if I was standing when I walked in the door, that table is temporary, but it was a gift from the boss. He said, I don't want it anymore. Can you use it? I said, not forever, but for right now I can. So I'm going to be doing 2 rows of the IBC totes, which, that's what an IBC tote is, guys. Now what I did discover is they have a really goofy threading on the bottom, so I either got to do custom thread, which I know guys that'll do it, but it's not for free to do custom threading to pipe in stuff, or I got to do an upper tube dropping in. We'll see how it goes, but and these unfortunately aren't super cheap. Cheapest I found right now in my area is about 60 bucks if he has any left. But I'm going to be doing 2 rows of them, between 4 and 5 of them a row, because I am planning on doing aquaponics. Now, before some people say, oh, aquaponics is a waste of time, and this, that, blah, 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 and you got all these problems and that problem, and I understand and I agree. I like fish. I like the sound of running water. And when you've reached the stage in your life where if you have some money and some time, and you enjoy things, do that. Don't waste your life. I could, once I get my wood stove in, which there's the insulated pipe going through the wall. I did buy the wood stove. It's heavy. Haven't picked it up yet because, again, it's heavy. But again, if you reach a point in your life where you can do some things that literally are only about making you smile, do it. Life is too short. make yourself smile. I mean, that, like, the bees were a big thing for me. And the greenhouse in itself is a big thing for me. Where it's, nope, I wanted a greenhouse. Oh, my window is messy again because I am a cheap Dutchman. So when I run out a can of insulation, I stab it and throw it in a corner. And then I throw all the insulation up into one spot. Because, you know, resourcefulness. Resourcefulness is the politically correct term to say cheap. So, just a quick update on the greenhouse, guys. I am gonna be doing some tests on the tanks here. I got to do a little bit more bracing because if anyone went to math class, these are the last statement on here. I don't think you can see it, but it's 80, and that's gallons, and it's US gallons. And you have up to here. So they're 100-gallon tanks. 100 gallons is 1,000 pounds of water. Other liquids way different, but basically 10 pounds to a gallon. Something that can help you out later in life. But so I'm going to be doing a little bit more bracing. I have done a fair amount. Let's see if we can get in here. And the reason 95% of the wood in here is pressure treat is just because I'm going to be dealing with humidity. But we're going to be doing that pipe. So that's going to be coming down. And speaking of resourcefulness, that is actually an old anhydrous hose. Anhydrous is a chemical, kind of. Well, everything's chemical, really. It's a type of fertilizer. It's a gaseous fertilizer that they use for nitrogen. And that's the old anhydrous hose. There's rules on it. They're only allowed to be around for so long. And then, like, I think it's 5 years on anhydrous equipment. And then it's decommissioned. Still a heavy hose. So I'm going to be using that as the suck hose for my pump. I have way too big of a pump for the first stage pump that I'm going to be using. But again, you go to auction sales, you find things. Also, my friend owns a well company, so he rebuilds these things. So he rebuilds a lot of stuff for me for a case of beer. Or less. But anyways, just to give you guys a quick update on the greenhouse, I am putting in more insulation. I've been doing Roxol, which rock wool, whatever random brand is in your area. The reason I use that is it's dealing with moisture. There's going to be a lot of humidity in here, hopefully, as time goes on. Mice don't like that stuff, and mold doesn't grow that well in it. Although I am aware mice will still go in it, and mold still will grow in it. Don't just follow the manufacturer's response. Things are going to happen. But, as a quick little update, I've got the plastic down. I've double laced the walls. I am going to do a whole video for the L&R structures, just specifically all by itself, just because they've been really good to me, and I thought, well, you know what, I'm going to make a really nice video showing what you can do with their structures. But this is just more letting my subscribers see this, and shout out to Hooples. I really think you need one of these at the Shire, and I'll come up and build it with you. It'll be fun. Bring whiskey. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Bye.